Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Eminem and his brother hate their dead mother. After years of dysfunction, they are free. Sad.
Oh wow.
Song he imagines this woman, calls her a druggie, and according to her, has made her a pariah in the eyes of his fans.
When you can't go to the mob for being spit on and being called, you
Oh, his mom is
disgusting
pretty.
pig, it's sad. He needs to quit
Looks
demeaning
like him.
me. He needs to quit, making attacks on me. I mean, you don't do this to your mom.
It's a little bit like hard, I can imagine.
Rapper Eminem and his brother has one of the most toxic and tumultuous relationships with their mother. Unfortunately, their mother has passed away, but I think Eminem and his brother may say fortunately, because they've had that bad of a relationship up until
I
she
didn't
died.
even know he had a brother. I thought he was an only child.
Nah, you should have known that.
How? How should I
He
have
talks
known?
about it in his music.
What did he say?
I don't remember right now, but Nate is his name.
Oh.
We talk about some me and Nate or...
They
That could've been his
hated
friend.
each other. Debbie Nelson, the
He
mother
talks
of
about
rapper Eminem, has died at age 69. It looks like a rep
That's
for
young.
Eminem actually confirmed to People magazine that she died from complications due to lung cancer.
Debbie Nelson featured prominently in the Michigan native's early hit albums. Now, in later years, they attempted to reconcile, and she congratulated him when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022. She died after a long battle with lung cancer. Debbie Nelson was 69 years old.
Now, Debbie was born back in 1955 on a military base in Kansas and grew up in a largely dysfunctional family. Shoot, I could have told you guys that. According to her 2008 memoir, My Son Marshall, My Son Eminem, Debbie's parents, so Eminem's grandparents, split up before she turned 10 years old, leaving her responsible to provide for the family as the oldest of 5 children. At
Eminem.
age 16, she married Eminem's father,
Wow, she
Marshall,
went through
and
a
then 2 years
lot.
What is that?
She married his father.
Yeah, listen to that. Listen to that.
the family as the oldest of 5 children. At age 16, she married
She got married at 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
That was those times, no? Crazy now.
Eminem's father, Marshall, and then 2 years later, Eminem was born. Eminem's fraught relationship with his mother was starkly laid bare on one of
Have you seen his father? Do we know what his father looks like? No.
his biggest hits, Cleaning Out My Closet. In the 2000 song, Eminem ferociously accuses her of drug use and neglect. He raps, witnessing your mama popping pills in the kitchen, that she was not much of a mother to them at all because she was too busy getting high. Here are some of the claims that Eminem made about his mother in his song Cleaning Out My Closet. He called her a selfish B-word, said that she pops pills all the time, that he was a victim of Munchausen syndrome, which is very Gypsy Rose coded. It seems like Eminem had an experience where his mother was trying to make it seem like he was sick when he wasn't. Maybe it's
So
another-
she could get.
He talked about it. Yeah, I remember that in the line. Yeah, so I think he said something double entendre about being in a high chair. I think it's in the same song, and high chair. As a kid, you need a high chair, and also being high as a kid, sitting on a chair. I remember that line. I think it's in the same song, kind of followed up by this one. It's from either Kamikaze or the other one. What's the other one? The
Recovery?
Music to be Murdered by.
way for her to get prescription pills? I don't exactly know. He also said that he hopes that she burns in hell. He also referenced a traumatic memory where she allegedly said some things about
If she did feed him pills, that's fucked up.
I didn't get that he feed him pills, but tried to get pills from his situation, trying to make up like, oh, something is wrong with him to get
Oh, okay.
medicine for herself.
his deceased uncle Ronnie, saying, remember when Ronnie died and you said you wished it was me? Which is so traumatizing. Imagine
I remember
your mother
this line.
telling you, oh, your uncle died, I wish it was you instead. Oh God. Burn the witch. He also described her as a thief, someone who'd go through your personal belongings and steal things. So he has nothing nice to say about Debbie.
When you can't go to the mob for being spit on and being called, you disgusting pig, it's sad because people are passing judgment by listening to Marshall's songs. He needs to quit demeaning me. He needs to quit, making attacks on me. I mean, you don't do this to your mom.
Now, before Eminem even released this song, Cleaning Out My Closet, there was another
I think if she had like dark hair, oof, her face would pop more.
song that really upset Debbie, to the point where in 1999 she filed a $10 million defamation lawsuit against Eminem because his song My Name Is
10 million.
You don't know none of this?
No.
Do you not listen to his music?
I only know about like Mom Spaghetti. Like I don't know too much. I know he was always yelling about something about his mom, but I didn't know these details.
Yeah, she sued him. He won.
makes references to the alleged abuse that
That's
he experienced at home.
crazy.
The lawsuit
She
was
sued
settled in
him?
2001, with Debbie being awarded $25,000. However, after legal fees were deducted, she walked away with $1,600.
No, she
Is it worth
won.
it to
Yeah, $1,000.
Yeah, but she won the lawsuit against her son. That's crazy.
even further ruin
Settled, not won, settled.
your relationship with your son? You know what's wild? You could be walking down the street or headed to the grocery store, and then bam, powers off just a this year. They got a client in the middle. They will continue. You could submit. You only Tom/Morgan is at this point in time, she's probably the worst mother to be out there because she's got.
I think also what's, to keep in mind is everything we know about this situation is one-sided. And, there's always two sides to the story. So, you can't just like go judge the mother. But from this side, it looks really bad. It looks real bad, yeah.
EMINEM, a rapper's son who's a public figure, everybody knows this. So when Debbie was out in public, she couldn't live a normal life, being known as Eminem's terrible mother. In that track, My Name Is, he actually raps, 99% of my life I was lied to. I just found out my mom does more dope than I do. I told her I'd grow up to be a famous rapper, make a record about doing drugs, and name it after her. Now, because Debbie is clearly Mother of the Year, she decided to respond to Eminem in a way that maybe he could understand. She decided to make
did a song?
diss track to her own
She
son
did?
to set
know
the
that.
record straight. This reminds me of like Bear Abraham's mom.
I don't know that
We
she...
need to hear it.
I don't know that
I
she
want to
did
hear
this.
it.
I don't know that.
And
Okay,
how she made
that's
that terrible
interesting.
music video. It's really cringe to watch, and it's even sadder to think that this woman exists and thinks that this is the way to go
Whoa.
about a feud with her son.
And with her own music.
We have a problem, Marshall. The past 2 years, something really went wrong.
In a new CD called Set the Record Straight, Debbie Mathers, more of a reader than a rapper, delivers a message to her golden-haired
Oh,
son.
she read
Will
it.
the real Marshall Mathers please stand
Oh.
up and take responsibility for his actions?
Years later, Eminem expressed
Okay.
regret for the harsh lyrics in his song Cleaning Out My Closet. In his 2013 song
I know
Headlights,
this.
he issued a heartfelt apology to his mother, acknowledging the track was unnecessarily cruel. Eminem admits to taking things too far and reveals that he no longer performs Cleaning Out My Closet at live shows.
Now we're gonna talk about some of your other records. One of my favorite is when we talk about your mom. Talk about that, because you have a different understanding for her after the things that you went through.
I mean, at the end of the day, she's my mother, and I love her because she's my mother. I mean, even though we don't really speak, you know what I mean? She is my mother. I do love her, and I think I got a better understanding of what she was going through or what she may be going through when I see myself and how I actually became. You know what I mean? I think there's a little compassion.
Even though he did release his song Headlights, I think it was an apology to her, but also an apology to himself, and also accepting, your mother
I think we reacted to
Yeah,
this
we
one.
did react to
Yeah.
Headlights. Yeah, he talked about it.
sucks. Don't make this part of your identity. Although they remained mostly estranged for the rest of her life, when Eminem was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she did publicly congratulate him, saying, "Marshall, I want to say I could not let this day go by without congratulating you." This video was later deleted, but she says, "I love you very much. I knew you'd get there. It's been a long ride. I'm very, very proud of you."
Yes, I want to say,
That's
Marshall, I could
nice.
not let this day go by without congratulating you on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I love
What,
you
she's
very
wearing
much. I knew you'd
Shady?
get there.
Shady Records.
And It's been a long ride. I'm very, very proud of you.
That's a kind of scary video from his mother. She doesn't seem too well. And it was back in September when we learned that she was battling a terminal illness. He actually just started a new show, Eminem has, starting on December 7th, 4 days after his mother had passed away. Shortly after the death of Debbie, his mother, Eminem returned to social media to share that he's been spending some time preparing to play several international shows. Quote, "Well, if you want Shady, that's what I'll give ya." Writing Middle East 2024 Run kicks off this week. Pull up.
I
So
didn't know
see anything
he does tours. Like, I thought he did like performances, like, you know, here and there, but I didn't think he still run and do tours. I don't hear it being promoted too much over here in Miami. I don't think.
I don't think it's like a tour. I think he just had like, cause remember he did like the boxing
Yeah.
show. So I think that's
yeah.
what kind of the stuff he does. Yeah.
Okay.
about his mother yet. And maybe Eminem is staying quiet for now, but his brother isn't. While Eminem has not yet commented on the death of his mother, he's more focused on his international shows. His half-brother Nate has something to say. He wrote, "Hatred and mixed..."
Oh, I think they both grow out. They're blonde.
I don't know.
Because the young photo, he looked like a natural blonde.
emotions today on Instagram. And of course, this is a very simple post, but something you wouldn't expect from someone their mother had just passed away. Mixed emotions, yes, I can understand that part, but the hatred, I mean, he really does hate this woman. Nate was Debbie's youngest son, born to her and her partner, Fred, when Eminem was 13 years old. It actually turns out that Eminem and Nate are very close, to the point where Eminem actually became Nate's legal guardian when Nate had turned 16.
So are they brothers or half brothers? Oh,
Same mother but different father.
Oh, so he has his mother's last name, not his father's last name, right? Because they both have the same last name.
Well, okay, good question. I don't know. I don't know.
He needed to get out of there, and Eminem had the means to be his legal guardian, so thankfully he had that opportunity for him. But it actually turns out it's a lot more cryptic than just that, because Debbie wasn't Nate's legal guardian at 16. He actually was sent into foster care. This article reads that Nate was 8 years old when he was removed from his mother Debbie's home and placed into foster care. This drastic intervention by child welfare services was due to the unsafe and unstable conditions within their home. Reports from the time indicated that Debbie's struggle with severe mental issues and substance abuse had created an environment harmful for this child, so harmful that they would do better in the system, the foster care system. Debbie's erratic behavior, which already strained her relationship with Eminem, extended into Nate's upbringing. According to court documents and interviews, and allegations against Debbie includes neglect, emotional abuse, and failure to provide basic needs like food, shelter, and safety.
You know what's crazy? You wouldn't have thought that based on how she looks, like how her hair is, how she does her makeup, what she's wearing. She's like well kept here. So it's crazy to see that this completely different side.
Yeah, well, this is already after Eminem made it, though. These pictures.
He was
because you know, whatever he was treating her, she was broke and, you know, on drugs. This I'm sure by this time she cleaned up and, you know, got a little money too.
Nate's school reportedly alerted authorities.
Not that. I think, you know, she got probably some deals to talk about Eminem.
After observing signs of malnutrition, poor hygiene, and troubling emotional behavior. The decision to place Nathan into foster care devastated Eminem, who was 20 years old at the time and already had felt deeply protective of his young brother. These two share a close bond, and the separation of him going into foster care left Eminem feeling helpless. In 2004, he did an interview with Rolling Stone speaking about how it felt watching his brother being taken away. He said, "I watched him when he was in the foster care home. He was so confused. I mean, I just cried just going to see him there. The day he was taken away, I was the only one allowed to see him. They had to come and get him out of school. He didn't know what was going on." So it's not like he knew he was going into foster care. He literally left school right into the foster care system. The incident solidified Eminem's resolve to one day rescue Nate from the chaos of their upbringing and provide him with the stability he never had, which makes me want to cry, because I feel like as a sibling, like, you always just want the best thing for your sibling, and that's so real of Eminem to have that soft spot for him. Now, we briefly mentioned Eminem's song Headlights, which came out in 2013. He talks about Nate being taken away, rapping, "Nate got taken away by the state."
So they were always on good terms with one another. They didn't have problems between.
Yeah, no, he has a good terms, and I think he put up his brother. His brother acted in like a couple music videos or something like that. I remember vaguely.
Because when we heard the music for him, like he like said like an apology to Nate too as well. So I thought like there was maybe some conflict between the two.
I don't remember exactly the content, but I think if, you know, the apology was more so like, "I'm sorry, you know, I couldn't have done more," something like that.
8 years old. "That's when I realized you're sick. I just wanted you to taste your own. Now the medication's taking over, your mental state deterioration slow." So again, saying like, I wanted you to realize how bad and sick of a person you are, but I don't even think she really felt anything when Nate was taken away, which is even more sad. Although Eminem desperately wanted to gain custody of Nathan, his circumstances at the time made it impossible. At 20 years old, Eminem was working odd jobs and struggling to make ends meet while pursuing his dream of becoming a rapper. So he didn't have the financial stability or the legal standing to go and save his brother while he was 8. But again, later on, when he was 16, he was able to go.
We've got passion, we've got determination. Like, and if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
Rescue him. By the time Eminem turned 23, his rap career had begun to take off with the success of his LP, Slim Shady. He had the financial resources and influence to take legal action, and when he could, he did. I mean, that is a true brother right there. In the year 2000, Eminem officially gained full custody of Nate, fulfilling the vow he made years prior. He said in his own words, "When he was taken away, I always said if I ever get in the position to take him, I would take him. I tried to apply for full custody when I was 20, but I didn't have the means to." Nate's life took a significant turn for the better after moving in with Eminem. Under his brother's care, Nate found stability and support that he had been missing. Eminem not only provided him a secure home, but also served as a father figure and mentor. Now an adult, Nate has expressed profound gratitude for Eminem's role in shaping his life. In February 2023, he did an interview on his niece, Haley Jade Scott's podcast, which is actually, that's one of Eminem's daughters. So she has a podcast, just a little shady.
He has
and
more than one
Nate
daughter?
spoke about his brother's influencing.
I only know Haley.
I think one is a daughter, and the other is adopted. She was like a Kim's daughter, so he adopted her. I think so, but don't quote me.
Was the best role model I could have ever had help me, the dad that I am today. Now, Nate is a father himself and credits Eminem with teaching him the importance of perseverance, family loyalty, and responsibility. I'm glad that like Eminem was able, that is so healing. Like that is true childhood healing, like breaking the cycle of abuse. Like what abuse? It makes me like stan Eminem even more because good for you, man, and good for you not just leaving them behind and trying to forget about what you'd gone through, but to write about it, make art about it, and then to heal other people. That's a true powerhouse.
Yeah,
And as sad as it
that's
is that their
very
mother could never
amazing.
be the mother they needed or deserved, there's some beauty in the fact that she's gone now and that she can't hurt them anymore. And it makes me really sad to say that. Like, I don't think there's any good time for, like, no one wants to say like, oh, they died, good. But you know, in this
Kind
kind
of
of position,
reverse, like what happened, like, oh, I wish you were dead, and then he's still alive and she's gone. That's
it's
crazy.
probably
Oh, what would it be if he died before her? That'd be real fucked up. And I mean, he could have, you know, he was dealing with
Yeah.
drug issues at some one.
Was it really bad for him? Like he
Yeah,
had to.
I think he nearly OD'd, and that's when he's decided to clean up. I think that's what happened.
the best for them.
This
and
is
their
after
healing, and
he
maybe
was
they've had some
popular,
healing
or
behind
Yeah, yeah. This is mid 2000s.
Wow.
it seems. But I mean, Eminem right now, he's posting about his
Well, that's why it's called recovery, because I think that's when he became sober.
Then
international.
that's crazy. Mariah drugged him, and that.
Oh yeah, he was definitely high during that time. Yeah.
Show. Nate is talking about hatred. So it seems like this is a feud between a mother and sons that is finally over. And maybe that's the only beautiful part of this, even though it's all so sad. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below.
Okay. Interesting video. Yeah.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.